Hello there and welcome to How Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. Now in this video, we are learning how to construct triangles. We are learning how to construct triangles when you are given all the sides. You take your compasses, your rulers, pencils, and then your A4 sheet, then learn along. Now if you want to construct a triangle, you are given all the sides. It's very simple. So for this question here, it says the sides of the triangle is 5 centimeters, 6, and then 7 centimeters. And it goes on to ask that what type of triangle is formed, and we have to measure the largest angle to the nearest degree. This triangle can be constructed in any orientation. I would want to let my base be 7 centimeters. So what you do is you quickly draw a straight line, right? So this here is my straight line. And then on this straight line, I'm going to measure my 7 centimeters. So I would let this here be my starting point. So this is my starting. Take note of that. And I take my ruler and measure my 7 centimeters on the line I have drawn. So from 0 to 7, this is where it ends. So I'll then a point over there, or anything you can use to make your indication. I put my point over there, indicating that that is where my 7 centimeters ends. Then you can easily indicate that here as 7 centimeters. So 7 centimeters. Now we want to construct, or they want to construct the 5 centimeters and then the 6 centimeters. So I would want my 5 centimeters to be at this side over here. That is where you need your compass. You take your compass and then you open your compass to a radius of 5 centimeters. You do that on the ruler, right? So I open my compass to 5 centimeters. As you can see, I have the 5 centimeters on this point here. Then I bring it to this point of my 7 centimeters, the initial point. And then I'll draw an arc. So you draw a very nice arc. Make sure it is lengthy because you don't know where the other one would intersect it. After drawing your arc, you now want to open your compass to a radius of 6 centimeters. So this time around 6 centimeters. So this is my 6 centimeters. And then I stand at the other end and also draw another arc. This time around, there's no need for it to be long because you just want it to intersect the other one. So with these arcs drawn, you now take off your compass, and I can choose to clean these excess lines because I don't need them. After all this, you now take your ruler. You take your ruler and then join these two lines. So I'm going to join this line to this one over here. See? So I'm joining this line to this line over here. Then I'll also join this one here to this one over here. See? Yeah. So that is just it. And with this, you have constructed your triangle. So this side becomes your 5 centimeters. And this side over here is your 6 centimeters. And that is it. This is what type of triangle is formed. Now, since all the sides are not the same, then it is a scalene triangle. A scalene triangle is that whose 3 sides are not the same. Then it now says we should measure the largest angle to the nearest degree. The largest angle is always the angle facing the largest side. So this angle here is our largest. So you take your protractor and you position it such that you are able to measure this angle over here. So I'm going to position mine this way. See? And then with that now, we want to look at where this line is. And to trace that, you see, starting from this point, I have my 0 here. So using my outer calibration, 0, then 20 comes here, 30, 40, 50, 70, almost on 80, but not on 80. So 70, 71, 2, 3, there's 75, 76, 77, 78. or you can even say 78.5, right? So the measure of this angle over here, 78.5. That is it for this question. So simply put, to construct a triangle when you are given all the sides, the only thing you need to do is to do what? Take your ruler, then your compass, then your pencil, yeah. Then you draw the base. And for the remaining sides, you just open them on your ruler with the compass. Then draw your arc. You are good to go. So let's take some more examples and see how far this can get. Okay, so this second question wants us to construct a triangle with sides 8 centimeters each. You see, and this is actually an equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle is a triangle whose sides are all the same, right? So just as we did the first one, we first need to get a straight line, right? I'll get my straight line over here. So with this straight line, what you do is you can take your compass, right? But before taking your compass, let's take note of our initial point. So I'm going to let this here be my first point, you see. And with my compass now, I come to the first point, and before even coming to the first point, you measure 8 centimeters on your ruler. So you open your compass to the measure of 8 centimeters. So let me do that here as well. So I'm going to close mine to 8 centimeters. You can see here, this is exactly 8. I then come to this point, my initial point, and you just draw an arc over here. That will represent your 8 centimeters. There are two ways to do it. You can either use your ruler to measure the initial one, or you can use your compass to take note of the initial one. After you get your first 8 centimeters, then you would have to stand at this point and draw an arc. Stand at this point as well and draw an arc. So for the first one, I'll just stand at this point and then draw an arc. So this is my arc over here. I don't know how long it's supposed to be because we've not yet measured or drawn an arc from this end as well. After that, we now come to this end as well. That is this end here. And then draw another arc. And you make sure it intersects the previous arc too. See? With this now, it simply means we can clean all of this one because we don't need them. Right? Now, you now join this line or this point to this point to this point, and that is all. So I'll join this one here all the way to this, and also join this all the way this. See? And let me just dip in this one here as well. So this is my triangle with size 8 centimeters each. And it says we should name the triangle. It is an equilateral triangle. And it says, what is each angle's measure? They are saying this, all of this over here, what is their measure? And we know for equilateral triangle, its measure is supposed to be 60 degrees. But if you want to confirm, you can take your compass, your protractor, right? So this is my protractor here. And I'm going to do what? Measure the angle. So as you can see, it passes through the 60 degrees exactly. That is it. Now let's do one last construction and then I will give out some exercises for your own trial. For this last question, we have to construct a triangle with size 6 centimeters and then 9 centimeters and then a 6 centimeters. So I'll go very fast because I do hope you understand based on all that we have done so far. So I'll just first of all draw my straight line over here. And I'll take note of the first point where I want to start everything. So that is going to be here. See? So with this first point now, I would measure 9 centimeters from that place. I would always advise you make the longest side the base, the longest side. I'm going to open to 9 centimeters. And as we can see, That is my 9 centimeters over there, right? That just went away. So that is my 9 centimeters over there. Now I'll just mark that. So we mark that. And we now want to open our compass to 6 centimeters. You see? So with 6 centimeters now, I'm going to open to 6 centimeters. You do that on your ruler. This is my 6 centimeters. So with that, I'll just draw an arc standing at this point here. Then with the same radius, you don't open or close. You come to the other end and then come and draw another arc, and you make sure it intersects the first one you did. So this is it over here. At this point, I can now take off my compass and then clean the SSS that I don't need, just to make my work beautiful. And then you now join the 2 points. So I'm going to join this point, this point. I'm going to join from this point here to this point, and also join from this point to this point. Now write down their measurements. So this here was 6 centimeters, and this is also 6 centimeters. Not forgetting that this is 9 centimeters. And it says classify the angle by the sides, classify the triangle by the sides and then angles. So since you know that there are two sides being equal, then it's an isosceles triangle. The last one says you should measure the angle opposite to the 9 centimeter. And I think we've done that the previous one, right? So for the sake of time, I'll just skip that, or you can just quickly do it as well. So I bring this here, and then you rotate it and make sure your protractor aligns with one of the angles. You see, then you now measure it, and that is around 98, 97 thereabouts, right? So that is that. So basically, we've looked at how to construct triangles when you are given all the sides. Now, these are some examples or some questions you can try on your own, right? So there are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 of them. You can try them on your own to test your understanding. Thanks for staying tuned. I do hope that you understand all that we've done so far. In our next video, we'll be looking at how to construct triangles when you are given two sides and an angle. So see you in the next video, and stay safe.